Hello everyone, this is Genuine Polish, and welcome to my first episode for this Auction Not Included series. So we're going to be playing Survival, Spaced Out, and you might notice something weird about the screen. There's two Terrarian clusters, and this one has the two nearby asteroids. This one, if you notice, has three, because I've modded the world sizes and the amount of asteroids in the game files. So if you want to see how to do that, I have a video about it, but the gist of it is all these worlds are about double the size of the default worlds, and then of course I added another irradiated Marsh asteroid. I just like having more game to play, and that's why I put it in there. So you're gonna have to give me just a second here to roll through some of these traits. I made a video talking about the different traits and kind of the different world compositions. I decided just to go with the basic world because I just like kind of knowing about where everything is, even though I actually don't think it's the best world. I think there's definitely better choices. I personally like the Quagmire's cluster better than the Tyrannian cluster, but I just choose this one because it's just a little bit more based, and I had already modified the world sizes for my personal play. So let's see here. I'm not super particular about what I want for these. I would like maybe a frozen core, metal rich, if I can, but if it doesn't show up pretty soon, then it's whatever. Geodes are always kind of nice. Metallic modes, slime modes, that's alright. Trapped oil. I don't think this is a big deficit. There's usually not that much available oil just on the surface. Geodes, metal rich, frozen friend. That's pretty good. Let me try to find, I'm thinking satellites, frozen core, right there, that's perfect. Alright, and then story traits. If you guys didn't see my update video or anyone's update videos, there's this sonium synthesizer and the critter fluxomatic, which are just cool machines that one of them opens up this additional part of the game, dreaming, and that gives you, if I recall correctly, it gives you a buff to all of your duplicants where they get +5 to all their skills, and I think it's -25 or 50% stress per cycle. So you have duplicants dream for a couple of cycles, and then they get this huge buff. And then the critter fluxomatic is just an easy way to get morphs early on in the game, so that way you don't have to wait for the right conditions and wait 180 cycles for a Dreco to make a glossy Dreco or something ridiculous like that. Alright, and so we are at the character selection. I'm going to do polished caverns for the colony name. And then I think I'm going to choose a researcher just because I like to have one guy that's always at the research station. Let's see here, and then maybe a digger would be nice. I always make the mistake of not getting a digger and then struggling with having someone that can actually dig out my colony. And then a farmer is always nice. Rancher is excellent. I usually don't do too much with farming, actually. Operators are good. Early on in the game, I think a builder would be best, though. So I'm just going to skip ahead. I'm going to roll through all these to get about 10. Alright, so now I've chosen my 3 starting duplicants. We got a researcher with +9 research, excavation +9, construction +9. It's not the best that you can roll, but it's going to be good enough for now, because over the course of 1,000 cycles, it's really going to stack up. Alright, so here we are in Terrarian. The alert, the asteroid we call home has collided with an anomalous planet, decimating our colony. Rebuilding it is of the utmost importance. I've detected a new cluster of material-rich planetoids in nearby space. If I can guide the duplicants through the perils of space travel, we could build a colony even bigger and better than before. Okay, and we're off. So I always forget in these first couple of cycles, you really got to get the toilets and the cots built right away. And I'm trying not to pause this because I know how tiresome it can be just sitting there watching someone manage the building menu. Okay. So we're just collecting resources right now. I generally like to just build straight up and down off the bat. And because I have such a large world size, I think I might split my colony in half. So I'm going to strategically leave room for a door to divide my colony. And we'll see how that goes. If it doesn't end up being feasible, or if it's just a waste of time, then I'll just scrap that idea. But I have a suspicion with how big the world is, because you can't quite see it yet, but it's very large. And I do have a mod. The only mod I use is the bigger map zoom. I just really like to be able to see everything that's going on. Alright, let's see here. So, because I move stuff around so much, I think I'm just going to go ahead and drop an outhouse just about anywhere. I know if I put a little bit of thought into it, I could probably think of exactly where I should put it. Maybe here, but then that's going to obstruct some plants. I will put it here for the time being. And I'll actually put it in a depression just in case that it overflows or someone has an accident right near it. Actually, no. I will put it just far enough recessed away over here. And then we can do the wash basin, so that way it can be satisfied as a bathroom. And then we need our starting cots. So let's see here, we can put a door here. Yeah, that'll work. But then we will need a leave space for a fire pole. I generally don't leave 3 wide for the tube, the transit tube, just because I really don't get into that very early on in the game. It takes me forever to get to the transit tube, just because I usually have a lot of issue finding oil. Alright, so let's see, we got our cots. Unfortunately, there's a lot of light going on here, but I won't have any way to remedy that for a little bit. So what we need now is some metals. So let's get started on this, guys. We need to get some metals for our stations. Awesome. So here is our first station, and I believe it gets a buff from a light source. So I'm going to deconstruct this ration box. It is really convenient to have everyone bring all the food to a centralized location, but for now, with how small the colony is, it's fine. Okay, there's that. And I hate building this small battery. I don't even know why they include it. You build it right away and then you deconstruct it in like the next cycle. Alright, and let's assess our situation. So we got water here, water there, polluted water, and let's check out some temperatures. So kind of hot, and it looks like we have a boulder of oxalite and abyssalite. That's really useful. So I think it'll be a nice while before oxygen becomes a huge concern. I always find trouble figuring out exactly what I want for the first cycle, or for the first research. I end up taking things that I don't end up using for quite a while, but let's just go with a battery. I feel like that's a pretty safe bet. Let's see if we can see the new buildings anywhere, because I believe they always spawn on your starting world. Nope, I don't see them at all. I'm wondering if, whoops, we got some idle people, or what are they doing? Yep, we sure do. Like I said, I'm not going to pause it. I'm not going to pause it, and I'm trying to stay true to that. No pausing. No, let's do a ladder here. And then we will do maybe something like this. Like I said, I'm trying to just give them something to do and not pause the game at all. So let's go ahead and dig these out, and then we will need access to water here pretty soon. All right. Set direction left. Cool. So we got something going on right now. And I think I'm just going to pump duplicates through the portal as fast as I can, because really, I mean, you can overdo it, but the more hands, the better. And like I said, I think I might end up splitting my base in half, and I'll show you what I mean by that. So I'll probably put a door here that's going to essentially divide this entire right quadrant of the base and the left quadrant. So that way people are not traveling back and forth to do what they have the highest priority doing. They're going to travel to the thing that's closest to them that they also have the highest priority doing. So hopefully it'll save time, especially on this bigger planet. Let's see, are people idle or are they relaxing? They're relaxing, sweet. So Odo's going to have a sore back this first cycle. But he should be fine. Shine brights are or shine bugs are always a bit of a pest, because at the beginning of the game, all they do is just shine light wherever, and unless if you make a lot of effort to capture them and concentrate them in certain rooms, then they're just going to be all over your base, and by the time that you're ready to utilize them, half of them are dead, and you're just waiting for them to come through the portal. And I know it's a printing pot, I just keep calling it a portal because in Don't Starve, which is one of this company's previous bigger games, it was called a portal. Okay, so let's just get some access to water. And I know I haven't played this game, done an actual playthrough of this game in quite a while. So my base design is very lacking right now. But I'm trying to keep it flowing and not let this game get paused at all. Okay, let's see what we can do about this here. So we can come down. Something like that. That should work fine. Alright, let's get some more researches going. So I think some food would be great, and some algae farms. Alright, we're going to speed it up while we let them do this. I'm trying to think of an advance if there's anything we're missing. All these new resources. And we have yet to find the teleporter pad. So yeah, funny thing, when I was doing my composition makeups, or my video on the different world compositions, I thought this world was just covered with sandstone. It's not at all, actually. This starting biome has a lot of sandstone. But most of the planet is igneous rock and granite. So that was a big surprise for me. And actually, sedimentary rock is extremely rare in this game. Also had no idea about that. Pretty much it always showed up in a very low quantity, if it did at all. I think there was Desolands is the only asteroid, if I'm correct, that spawns with a majority or a large amount of sedimentary rock. Most of them, to my surprise, it was igneous rock or granite. Alright, we got compost. I'm not going to bother with that. I'll probably use sublimation with the polluted dirt. Then algae terrarium, that's probably pretty a good idea. Alright, let's just get this battery going just so we're not wasting time powering that. And what is next? I guess it's just time to sit back and relax. We need the manual airlock so that way we can block off the duplicate sleeping quarters and some airflow tiles right off the bat. I always forget when you start these new games, there's just how much you actually need, or how much you're actually lacking. Let's see here, what do they need to get access to it? If we do this, then it'll... Okay, they just need a ladder, it looks like. Oh no, they don't, but I'll give one to them. Alright. And here I'm just leaving this little gap so that way if people throw up and stuff, it's less likely to contaminate my water early on, and it's more likely to keep the water from flowing out. Alright, next research. Let's go ahead and go to the supercomputer because we have some of our basic needs met. We have the food, farm plots, and the bigger batteries. Alright. So this is actually a pretty generous starting area. The area that doesn't have any tier 2 digging. It's actually surprising how big it is. I know I'm playing on a bigger world, but it doesn't necessarily change the size of the biomes. So pretty rare. And we have uranium here, and actually, wow, look at that. There's lead. That is genuinely surprising. I don't think I've ever seen lead with uranium in a uranium asteroid. Super weird. And it's freezing cold. Yeah, I've gotten some comments about playing the game in Fahrenheit, whereas a lot of the people who use it, whereas a lot of people who play this game use Celsius, and I'm considering changing it, but I need to at least know what some basic temperatures are in Celsius. I know that like room temperature is like 30, 40 degrees maybe. In Fahrenheit, that's freezing, so I really don't have a good gauge yet. Ooh, that's not great. This pitcher pump is underwater. Let's go ahead and... Can you dig this out a little bit? That was a bit of a mistake, but here, let's see if we can remedy that. No, they'll deal with it for now. Alright, let's see what biomes are around us. So it looks like this might be a jungle biome or something. There is so much algae on this world. My god. Maybe I was wrong about the terrarium cluster not being the easiest, because look at all this algae, and then there's all these giant slime chunks. Okay. Crafting station for oxygen mask. Those are pretty useful for slime mining. If you just want to like not give slime germ the chance to generate in your base, it's kind of useful. But besides that, there's very limited uses for oxygen mask. Maybe to extend someone's exposure in space. Alright, let me start putting up some rooms so that way I can benefit from it. And let's see here. Where is the manual airlocks? Right here. Alright, we will have an airlock here soon enough. And then I like to just throw some doors up and put open so I'm not wasting time by having duplicates sit there and open it. 19,000 calories, so that's a couple of cycles for these three guys. And then we will have a 4th one on this cycle. All right. Telescope. I didn't realize how early you got the telescope on. That's kind of funny to think that you'd be like at the surface using it anywhere near this time. All right, first printing. Print. 9 strength. That's pretty good. Bonus while in space. 9 creativity. Construction. Decrease creativity. It's not bad. I always forget how these bonuses work. I feel like one time I got decreased creativity when the person had like +9 and it ended up being like -3. But that doesn't sound right. Piloting, silent strength. Let's just get this guy who's all around pretty good. Stinky. Wait, vomiter. Okay. I can deal with that. Hello, Stinky. And then generally new duplicants get skills right off the bat, which is awesome. There we go. And idle. Alright, we have idle people. Like I said, not trying to pause the game. I like to keep a lot of natural tiles around so that way people can, or I can just grow whatever I like. But I do need metal. I know for a fact that I will need metal, so I'm just going to go ahead and strip mine this real quick. Just so my people have something to do. Ooh, I don't have dirt. Okay, also need dirt. I will say that it is a fun challenge by trying not to let people stand around at all. Or I mean, to pause the game at all. Because it really challenges you to... Ooh, we need another bed for Stinky right away. Crap. Also just do not have enough space for Stinky. Yeah, it is a different kind of challenge to let... It is a different kind of challenge to force yourself to... It's definitely a different kind of challenge when you force yourself to not pause it at all, because you always have to have something going, and it might not always be the best or most well thought out thing, but you just gotta have something going at all times. Alright, so next up, we should really find a space for this supercomputer. It's a little cluttered here, and I put this too close, unfortunately. Well, I'll tell you what, at this point in the game, it's probably not worth my time to deconstruct that battery. It's probably a bigger waste of time to deconstruct it than just to let it lie. Checking up on our oxygen. We're still doing pretty good here. Alright. And then let's try to get some of this metal ore concentrated in our base. Let's do 6 priority. I hate when I keep getting caught up in making things, you know, max priority, because then everything's priority 9 and nothing gets done. On my longest running world, I can go and look at it and there's probably 300 like work projects that are on my most recent on my longest running world. There's probably like 300 priorities that are not set to 9, so none of it gets done, because why would, you know, there's no actual priority when everything's max priority. So right now they are kind of just wasting time by loading this stuff up, because I said it's such a high priority, but I did want some supply of it so people don't have to be running back and forth. I'm going to change it back down to 5 just so they're not spending their whole day doing that. All right. Let's throw up a door here for dividing this area. Like I said, I think I will split this colony in half, and I'll have basically duplicate skills on either side. Because you can't tell the scale now, but this is a very large world. Alright, research complete. We got the airlocks going. That's awesome. Insulated tiles are always just a good thing to get. Just so you don't forget. Airflow is going to be a big issue right here. But I will get our airflow tiles out. There we go. That's probably more than I need. Okay. And I know light is an issue, but because I have this contained, let me check actually. Yeah, the light will be fine. So let's just put these pneumatic doors on just to help with airflow. And again, I think I'll leave these open for now. There's not a lot of pests roaming around that I need to worry about. These shine bugs are stuck here, which will give a light bonus to all these buildings in here. Alright. Alright, everybody, that's going to be it for this first episode. We got through 4 cycles, and I guess that's what we're going to be averaging close to that throughout the series. I'm thinking about 4 or 5 per episode. And yeah, so next episode we're just going to be keep progressing, getting our basic research done, and then we're going to be making a plan for what kind of farm or what kind of building or what kind of system to build first. And like always, I'm going to be running up to the surface to try and find the other planetoids. Thanks for watching, guys.